What the fuck?
Okay, so this is production meeting number 1, and I heard you guys had a idea to tell me.
Yeah, so, well, me and Will got together and we were thinking it would be easy, well, not easier, but because we're more experienced with making documentaries, and it'll be a more intriguing path to go, depending on like our idea, which we've made. We think it'll be best to do a documentary based on covering final projects with different students.
Right.
And
Yeah, because oh, sorry, Karen.
No, go on.
Well, it's just because I've always felt that documentaries have been easier to make look more professional, because with a short film you have a lot to deal with in terms of because we're student filmmakers, there's a lot more problems that could go wrong with making a film than making a documentary. You can make a documentary look more professional.
Yeah, I mean,
easier.
We're aware of what problems we can deal with in terms of making, say, like a fictional film.
Yeah.
But, documentaries, I feel like we've had about 2 years of experience with not just even like making actual documentaries, but also just generating ideas in that field, and have a very I'm saying we have the most understanding with that genre, I'd say.
To add to that, me and Charlie are currently studying documentaries and film studies, so we've learned all these techniques, these features, these research we've done. So we feel we can combat this genre of filmmaking quite precisely.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to discuss who. I mean, obviously, everyone in the year is generating ideas at the moment, so we'll have to talk with other groups to see if their ideas are interesting to document, and which one would be the best for locations, some of the visuals, and the most interesting stories to document.
But we need to make sure we can't follow too many people, because we don't want to overbloat this documentary either. We need to get the right people.
I'd say no more than 2 or 3. And even then, like that means we'd have to very efficiently organize the pacing and who gets what scenes, etc.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, we'll discuss possible interviewees in a later meeting, because that's definitely its own subject matter to cover.
Absolutely.
But in terms, I'm getting a call from someone. Is there anything else you want to add to the overall idea we want to do?
I feel like more ideas that us individually could bring to the table will come more as we develop this idea, because obviously in the early stages.
Definitely.
So I feel like the more we talk about it and the more we plan it, the more ideas we'll have to pitch to each other, and the more we'll test in post-production.
My app's just slightly So I think this is my cut Superstition.
Yeah,
like me and you both did Superstition, and you did
Bootylicious, yeah.
And the shot's absolutely nightmare.
Yeah, but I think we got what you wanted out of it.
Well, it was more getting the beats on time.
There's 2 issues came from our cuts. Like beats, your cut was a nightmare because your shots were so bombastic. Like it took so long to get them.
I definitely went for the more creative route.
Oh, thank you. Like in terms of, I think mine was the choreography and like getting the beat right. You had to go at me for doing those with classes.
Yeah.
Louis can't look at the camera. I've noticed, Will, in this, like, you bite your lip.
I'm hot. Oh, yeah.
Where's the knife coming from?
I just thought you were going to call me hot, that's all.
You are hot.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
You can't dance, by the way, dude.
None of us can move on.
No, yeah.
None of us can.
I would love to see you on the dance floor. I would annihilate you.
Oh, right.
Well, there's the graffiti we definitely removed.
Those shots of the shoes was horrible too. Colour like moments.
There we go. It was a good shot though. I like the shot.
It is a good shot. I like that as well. Once that was color graded and like done with the lighting, it was good.
The only issue was like the mirror was very dirty.
Very dirty. This irritates me. It's
swap
sides.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, but the thing is, Will, no matter what, yours on the left of the screen, so it's hard to distinguish.
Sped up.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that lift shot was.
There's a lot of lift shots.
Which one, mine or
the one in the
it was your one.
The one with Liam is the cat.
No, not that one. It kept closing the shot we wanted to get.
I've got that's in the blooper reel.
No.
Green Goblin.
We didn't lock Billy out of the room because it was was Joe.
See, look at these dance moves.
Stop talking like that. I'm just saying, Beach. Like the footage of you singing without like the backing audio is so cringy. Both of us.
I haven't seen that.
I love these shots. I've already established that these are defo. Except the ones in Ezekiel. These are some of the best shots I've ever done, especially with the audio in the background. Thank you very much. Well, this is production meeting number 2. Guys, I've heard you have some more ideas to talk about.
Okay, yeah, so today we'll be discussing film techniques and features that can span, range from archive footage to, how we handle the camera.
Yeah.
And, we've got a lot to talk about there. Right. So, Will, if you want to start with the camera, but I'm happy to,
Yeah, so, because I have an Olympus pen, which, because you know how this is a documentary, I thought it would be a very good idea to use it because, especially the fact that it's about student filmmakers, it gives that sort of handheld quality style that I have a feeling we're going for with this.
You mean like it's gonna look rough around the edges, but
it's very good quality. You can film in 4K. It's a good camera, but it's quite small. It's like handheld. It'll be like when we're filming, it'll be a tiny bit shaky, but like not it'll fit to the aesthetic we're going for. I feel like.
Okay. What
about?
But
as well as that, it adds to the whole like authentic type stuff. If it's less professional, editing wise, then it'll seem more believable. Again, this is something we've learned in film studies. So
I think that reminds me of Beach on this, like the work of Sarah Polley. You have a lot of that shaky cam, and obviously it adds to that idea of it being very behind the cameras, and you see these people in a more vulnerable state, which is quite sentimental in some fashion.
It's funny you say Sarah Polley as well, because we learned that she wasn't as authentic as it seemed.
Yeah, but that's a good point actually. But obviously, I imagine we're not following her path. Like this is the real stories. These are the real people. What they're saying is completely factual.
It's how we convey that. Is how we're gonna is what we're gonna take from it. But so then we can move on to archive footage and narration and whatnot, which we'll definitely be using because over the months we've been kind of building this archive footage of pictures, videos of just us, hanging about, doing our stuff with our mates in our group. And it'll be really nice to include those that type of media because it reflects on change. It reflects on like friendship, family, and those type of themes, which is really nice to include in this type of this type of piece of media.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about sound, in terms of sound?
Well, personally, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I think maybe I don't know if we'll need narration or like music, because I don't know, because I feel like the audience maybe could like figure it out on his own, and because maybe I feel like sometimes narration can come across as quite cheesy, and like
that depends on the writing though. And then hear me out. With we obviously know what the brief is, and I feel like I'm all for ambiguity, but more not really a sense in documentary. This is my opinion, honestly. But I will experiment this in future times of the production. But I feel like in terms of meeting the brief and meeting the topic, in like just a small section, like 10 seconds or so, at the beginning, perhaps, just to explain very briefly that and really cement, the topic, the core topic was change, and if we ferment that in this very brief narration, that will be applied. So what I'm trying to say is the audience hearing this narration, that'll ferment the idea of change into the minds, and they'll apply the idea of change to everything they'll see in the coming scenes within the documentary. So that's why I think personally that narration would be a good inclusion.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're not wrong. Like, I guess we could just try either in the editing process, see which one we prefer.
Yeah, well, that's what post-production's for. Once we've filmed everything we want to, we will experiment with these things and see how we feel. So we'll see about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess the thing with me when it comes to narration is I kind of like admire the whole like it isn't predetermined what we're going for. So the less scripted everything seems, the more genuine, the more raw it'll look for the audience. But with narration, it has its downfalls and it has its benefits. If we don't think that we've properly established the overall theme of the documentary through what we're already showing, then I do agree we should add some narration.
Okay. Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Okay.
That's good.
Yep, that's it. Thank you very much.
Fame isn't really a big thing for me. Like, some people are like, oh, I want to do this and then become famous and everyone knows who I am. I could care less if everyone in the world knows who I am or no one knows who I am. Like, say I made a piece of media, like a film or a show or like music or something, and then it made an impact and like entertained and enjoyed people, like made people happy. I could care less if my name was credited on that, because in my head I know I've made an impact. Like, I don't need everyone to know, oh, I made this, blah blah blah, look at me, I'm so cool. I couldn't really care less. So I feel like if I did go on to make media in the future and I did carry on this career, if it is successful and I become famous, I'm not really fussed, to be fair, as long as I make people happy and entertain people. That's all that really matters to me.
Okay, this is production meeting number 3, and we are responding to a recent focus group that we conducted for some audience research. So, guys, what was the results we picked up?
So we got quite a positive response regarding the themes we want to cover. The themes in question: friendship, love, family, nostalgia, and kind of relationships and whatnot. And we talked about personal experiences, personal, matters that regard those type of themes. And essentially, what we got out of it was that it all depends on really what we show. Like in terms of the type of like experiences we cover.
I suppose this research is it's all about really how our designated audience wants, well, at least a fair share of people in that audience want us to represent these topics and this ideology, because I feel like our audience can relate to what we're covering, this idea of change and progression in some shape or form, whether that's, a sentimental thing or a morbid reason, maybe even. This is, in some shape or form, the idea of change and progression does relate to every single audience member we're going to be working with. So finding out how at least a nice portion of our audience wants to see these things represented will give us a better idea of how to do it for the much wider audience.
Yeah. The only criticism that we really got was, like, I would say about 50% of the people didn't really admitted that they don't really watch documentaries, which could be an issue. But I guess we can't really.
We can still fix that, because we can make more than one thing for our audiences to enjoy. Whether that might not just be the topic, but also perhaps the aesthetical not purposes, but aesthetical values of the film, and the art design as a whole can be a pulling factor for the audience as well. So we need to make more than one reason for our audience to watch the film than just the idea of change.
Yeah.
Because you finish, sorry, Will.
No, because we can like pull them in and intrigue them with it is like what you said, with all the other aspects of it, like, because the point we're portraying in the documentary isn't the entire. There's so much more that will go into this documentary than just the point of it, the point of change. Like,
and with these different values that we want our film to have, it'll make our audience care more about the topic of change, because when applying change to all these unique and stylistic design choices, it will make them ultimately more interested in what we're talking about, because the visuals alone and the style is so intriguing to them.
Yeah.
So that is definitely something we need to get right.
Because there's nothing worse than making a boring documentary, because a boring documentary can be very boring, especially I've seen so many documentaries that just talk about the topic in such a bland way and don't intrigue the audience whatsoever. But I believe that we can bring something new definitely towards it.
A lot of documentaries never tend to confront the issue or the subject matter at hand. They usually tend to just talk about it. Like a documentary I watched a while back. It's going to sound a bit jarring, but the one about Jimmy Savile on Netflix.
I was thinking about that as well when Will mentioned subject matter can be dull, and it's a shame that really so
shows the effects.
Yeah.
This didn't really hit home as much as I expected it to. And that's something we need to avoid. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
You're a bit shaky. That's the thingy. Stabilizer.
Yeah.
It's a worthy sacrifice because it looks better with it. What are you laughing at?
So I'll be able to recover from. Did look at those moves. Sorry.
This last part we really ran out of time.
Yeah.
I did Louis gave up on his costume though. I didn't really notice that.
We both did because you didn't bring in the blazers.
Oh yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
I'd say in terms of costume design, this is my favourite. It was easy, it's simple, but it was effective.
No, I think Ezekiel was the best one.
Ezekiel would put the most effort into in terms of costume design because it needed it.
I think we put the most effort overall into Ezekiel.
And it was part without a doubt. We didn't have enough time to really do the little things with this project because it was so short.
Yeah.
We only had 4 weeks the client wanted it for. Yeah, the costume design, like, I remember you ran out of things to put on your mood board in terms of, like, research into a different costume. I just gave you a show that I was watching that at the moment. That's why I gave you, because I was in the middle of it.
Well, because I'm pretty sure you stole a show I was going to do in the first place, so I had no other, like, places to go.
I did Cowboy Bebop and Lupin the Third, most importantly, the Studio Ghibli's Cagliostro. You did Outlaw Star, which in terms of, and also, like, for the costume as well, like, you gotta look at, like, the overall aesthetic for the music. Very, like, casual suit-esque, you know? God, the dancing is awful. This is nice to film, though, because it was, like, it just shove the camera on and have fun.
Yeah. This is the whitest thing ever.
It's also the most epileptic thing ever. Those lights. Oh my goodness.
Well, this is production meeting number 4, and it's quite an exciting one today because we're going to talk about all the market research we've done, the inspiration we have. So, which one of you would like to go first?
Well, I've looked at quite a few, like, market research production, and I've looked at a few documentaries, and one of the ones that stuck out most to me, anyway, which I kind of wanted to, like, took a lot of inspiration from, is Fire of Love, because I know both of you have watched that.
Yeah.
And just the way how it interpreted, like, archive footage with making it relevant to what they're talking about, and, like, telling a story throughout it without us fully knowing what's going on, I just really thought was masterfully done, and I would definitely want to incorporate some definitely quite a lot of elements within that.
Mm-hmm.
The thing with Fire of Love as well is they never acknowledge the camera necessarily, and I think that's something that would be nice to do in our documentary, because then it makes the camera feel, it makes the audience feel like they are the camera. They're witnessing it, and it's not like this.
It's kind of like a window into, like, the world instead of like,
it's
they're there with us.
Yeah, exactly.
Beach, any interesting things you've looked into?
So yeah, I looked at 6 different documentaries. They are incredibly distinctive from one another. There wasn't a singular theme that carried throughout all of them. I think the one main feature or technique, if you will, that sticks out to me, and one that I think we need to get well done, is objectivity and authenticity. And the ones that best carried those were Sarah Polley's Stories We Tell, and Michael Moore's Bowling for Columbine. Now, Michael Moore is probably one of the greatest and most iconic documentary filmmakers of all time.
Yes,
he's personally my favorite. He's done my favorite documentaries.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that I love about him is his documentaries do not feel professional at all.
Yeah,
you disregard the people he's interviewing and the subject matters he covers, disregard all of that, you would feel as if you are watching a genuine student film because of how the camera is handled, how the crew, the fact that the crew are seen in the film, you know, it isn't, it just doesn't feel, it's genuine, you know, it's real. It feels like they aren't trying to hide anything from the audience. It's all out there. The content, the crew, the director, the professionality, it's just all out there for the audience to see. And because of that, it seems more believable. It seems more genuine, more real. It's more raw.
Mm-hmm.
And even though Michael Moore does acknowledge the camera, everything else he does is something that I think we definitely need to carry over into our documentary.
Yeah. With me, I've tried to explore more than just the documentary genre. Don't be wrong, I've done around 8 or 9 pieces of market research. I've at least 6 of those are documentaries, including, like you said, Fire of Love, the work of Nick Brumfield and Michael Moore and Sarah Polley. Some other documentaries that I myself enjoy that I feel like I could take things from. Love Antosha is one of those. But also some more fictional works. For example, the idea that we're pursuing documenting filmmakers, I looked into Spielberg's The Fabelmans as well, because I feel like that could give us insight into how to approach the emotional side of filmmakers and the passion behind it. And with my work as well in market research, I've looked into how to capture like humanity and emotion on camera, and as well just capturing human emotion as well, because the whole point of change and what drives it forward is emotion. And for me as well, a lot of my ideas that I pitch to you guys for films come back and from college, listening to music. And for me, at this moment in time, the people that have inspired my ideas, people like Franz Ferdinand, the Goo Goo Dolls, Arctic Monkeys, and Daft Punk, who I did a slide on, because for them as well, they go into different emotions we feel as humans, and their whole topic of their work is the idea of humanity, which I feel is a significant part of change and the passion behind the people we're documenting. Is that all?
Yeah, I think we've covered everything.
Yeah,
brilliant. Okay.
I don't know, a little bit of both. I want to entertain people, but not in like the traditional sense of just like, oh, I like this film because it's funny, it makes me laugh. I like films that you'll watch it and then, like you said, it makes you think. It's like I like films that kind of mess with your head, like Fight Club, for example, because you'll watch that and you think, oh my, like what's going on? You know what I mean? I like making people I like using different media things to send messages. Like sometimes I'll make something just because it's cool. Like say I'll make a short little film. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like I made a summer edit. I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. But then sometimes I like making things that have deeper meanings for people to think about. I like that a lot because then people actually sit. It's rather than, oh, that's a good film because it's funny. That's a good film because it made me think about life.
Thank you. So this is production meeting number 5, and we're happy to announce that we've finally chosen the interviewees we're going to be documenting and interviewing. So, Beach, Will, why don't you announce who it is and we can discuss them?
So we decided that we're going to follow Joe, Aiden, and Will's group on their production, and then for the other side, also Millennium's group production, and that also we can then interview them like personally and get their opinions and.
I think it's we've chosen some two good indie filmmakers there, at least for because I feel like they're two very broad and vastly different projects that will add a lot of variety to like content, and as well, I think what's a good choice as well, as when you consider the places these people are going to record and film will give us the advantage, especially in visuals. Because when I heard and I was told about Joe and Will were filming in Disley, which we're all aware is quite a really beautiful area and can offer some really gorgeous cinematography, I was quite excited, especially considering the possibilities for cinematography in that sense. But as well as that, we have 2 other interviewees, Beach, and who are they?
Yes, we have chosen Tom Rinley Carter and Charlotte Lee as our uni students who we're going to interview. Obviously, we used to work with them and we've seen their work because they used to be members of our college. Both are very close people to us. We talk to them quite a lot. Charlotte is obviously Will's partner, and Tom is always in contact with us because, well, we just talked a lot in college, and they are both incredibly talented people who have moved on to do very fun and intriguing subjects. Tom has recently joined, I believe, Misfits Boxing. I think that's something to do with KSI. I'm not quite sure yet.
Yeah.
He also works with The Zone. He's shot some The Zone footage, which is obviously incredible. And, you know, to interview Tom would be amazing. A really good opportunity. And Charlotte as well. I've seen more of Charlotte's work in college, and she is a very talented person. She's very lovely. She's very nice. She will give us the uni perspective. That will be intriguing for both us, obviously, because we'll be going to uni soon, and for the audience as well, because that'll be a reflective experience for them. Essentially, we'll be given two agendas. Well, not agendas, but two perspectives on what can happen after college. One from the uni perspective, which we'll be pursuing most likely, and one from a more external perspective, one that's gone a little bit more adventurous with what they're doing. Not to underline uni, obviously, both are very exciting worlds, and both people, I'm sure, can do whatever they want with their career.
Yeah. And I feel like the inclusion of these two more professional creators is also vital in terms of the contrast between our indie filmmakers who are our age, Joe Aiden, Will, Billy, Liam, etc., and these older, more experienced people, because essentially it gives that contrast to the audience that essentially these more experienced people are the kind of people our indie filmmakers want to become. And it's that really nice contrast that adds that progression and almost like a character arc, kind of, for the people that we're documenting. Is that all?
Yeah, I think we've covered everything, to be honest. I don't think we've got much more to think about.
Okay, fantastic. Great day.
It's a masterpiece, is what you're trying to say.
This is like one of those iceberg videos, and this is at the bottom.
I'm certain we traumatized. Sorry, not we. You traumatized Liam after this.
Why
No, Will didn't, but a certain individual did.
Oh, River.
Oh no.
River was way too into this. Oh god. Wait, did we use our
Yeah, there we go.
Was it bulk cannon?
But yeah,
And
I was Grout
Loki. That was what was Liam?
I can't remember.
I was like,
oh god.
It's the laces, the dangling laces. We can't show this.
Why?
Of course we can.
I showed it to the.
We showed it to the client. Will got some good feedback from it. Kind of.
Wait, did you send it to the client?
Yeah.
I didn't know you did.
Yeah, I sent it off.
My
Oh,
goodness.
fair do them, yeah.
That shot.
Jesus Christ.
It's
hilarious.
Oh, Riverman. Why is all the voiceovers just me?
Because with the original, there's 3 different people singing it, so you're all the 3 individual different people.
Aiden did not want to be there.
No, he did. Aiden hated everything.
Liam was traumatized after this. I think we all were deep down.
I was annoyed.
Why?
Because I had to do this, and then you couldn't do like the elevator scenes for me.
I did?
You didn't do it. You didn't want to do it, though, did you?
Well, no, but I did it anyway.
I did this anyway.
So what's your problem?
I need to make you understand how violently ill I felt doing. Not metaphorically, I was genuinely ill doing this.
You say that after, but then you were into like drawing it.
Yeah, I put my effort in for you.
Thank you.
Was that Liam's hat? Oh god. We cut obviously you cut the infamous shot that.
No, but like it wasn't a bad shot though.
No, when you know the context.
You know the context, it's just the angle of it.
It is the angle.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, and welcome to production meeting number 6. And we're going to talk about the script, which I finally finalised, and amongst other things. So, anything you guys want to
The script. I love the script. The script covers the theme very well. Not too much. It doesn't shove it in your face, but it covers it at an appropriate level. Obviously, we've done a table read already, and we've agreed that Charlie will be narrating it, which we've already done the narration on the same day because we had time, and
we had the recording equipment ready, so we just filmed that because we felt like it was a good time to do it. So we've got that piece of, I can't really call it footage. Got that recorded. It's ready to use in the edit.
Obviously, we may redo lines after filming so it fits more into the context, but as of right now, the dialogue we have shouldn't feel convoluted at all.
Okay.
Fucking hell.
Carry on, Beach.
Yeah, like I said, Charlie is narrating it, so we've got that covered.
Yeah.
There should be only, as of right now, there is only one narrator because it doesn't really add anything if there's multiple different people speaking.
Yeah. Obviously, we had the first draft. Sorry, Will, were you saying something?
Oh no, I'm just completely agreeing with everything Beach is saying.
Oh, right. Obviously, we had that first draft and we didn't include the final 2 lines that we've added in draft 2, which we felt like was a good addition as well.
Yeah,
it's a nice little ending placement.
Yeah, because it just caps it off to the audience because it kind of felt like the previous one was a bit abrupt, like it didn't end it properly.
Yeah.
Obviously, the script is, I believe, only 2 pages long. That is because a lot of this documentary isn't predetermined, so we can't just. It goes with the whole unscripted element. We want to, drive back that element as much as possible. We want it to be more authentic. So narration is as far as professionally, I guess I'll say, as we'll go, because again, we want to go with that whole authentic, feel.
Yeah, totally agree. Is that all?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, that's great. Good day.
Well, as a student filmmaker, say you're going for any kind of job in the industry, and then somebody else is going for it that's had way more experience, you kind of know that it's very unlikely that you're going to get it. And then you'll obviously want experience, and then if you end up going to uni, you can get the grades, but then you don't really you can get the experience, I suppose, but not as much as you would from getting an apprenticeship there or something. And that's where it becomes difficult, because for every single thing, like an apprenticeship or a university, you need experience. But then grades look good, so it is kind of difficult to get into, because a lot of people obviously won't get into it because there's different parts when it comes to film and TV. It can be behind or in front of camera, so it can be difficult. But then again, I think if you really work hard and you prove that you really want it, then you're most likely going to find a job.
This is production meeting number 7. This is all about the budget and resources of our production. So, which one of you would like to start?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the.
It's fine. We can. Right.
So, in terms of resources, we've talked about the cast we're going to have. The different cast and crew that's with our indie filmmakers, as well as the more professional people we're interviewing. But as well, we've got in terms of filming resources, in terms of equipment, we have Will's Olympus pen camera, which we've tested. It looks fantastic. The Rode equipment for sound, pop boom poles, etc. A Tascam for sound, which we hope to actually work for once, because obviously we had a bit of trouble with sound in our previous I just swore, sorry for me. Previous project, Stood After Us Part, but we've had a lot more experience with it, and we're ready to use that. Any other parts of the resources and budget you want to talk about?
Well, obviously, like most other, like every other production, aside from the kids' TV show one we did, most of the budget will go towards transportation. However, because the locations are very far away, we'll most likely be getting free transport from parents, such and such, because we couldn't get like a single bus or whatever towards there, and it would take too long, and plus we have the equipment, so it would be more pragmatic to just take a car instead.
We've also prepared for different like rail strikes, etc., and closures, and we've adapted that into the budget as well.
We've also got the official schedule that we should stay on. As of right now, we are still on the schedule. So for production, filming days, filming day 1 should be filming day 1. It's more of filming day 1 is Joe and Aiden. Filming day 2 is Millie and Liam. Actually, no, sorry. Filming day 2 is Charlotte and Tom, and filming day 3 is Millie and Liam. So filming day 1 is the 6th of February to the 11th. Filming day 2 with Tom and Charlotte is the 12th. That we're doing it on the same day. And filming day 3 with Aiden and Millie and Liam, is the 20th to the 24th. So all within the same month. As of right now, no one has cancelled. No one has changed their plans. We haven't changed our plans. We are all on track to, meet up on the same dates. So regarding schedule, we are doing very well.
Brilliant. Yeah. We're on budget again. So everything seems clear with that. So anything else you guys want to add before we wrap up?
I feel like I haven't really said much, but I can't add any more to that because we've covered everything really.
Well, when Lauren's there, is it? Yeah, it's River's idea.
But also, I'm not going down for something he has to do.
Who was each other's partners in this? Oh, Liam and River.
Mine was Aiden's.
Oh, I was with Joe.
You were Joe.
Yeah. Joe got way too into that. Look, this way he was looking at me. Oh. He smiled at the end of that. Look at Joe. He's loving that view. Like the thing, it really does feel like SCP, doesn't it? Like banned content.
It's not that bad.
Can I just say Aiden wasn't holding me?
Was he?
Like his hands were like away from me.
The lighting is fantastic in this. Yeah. Probably the best lighting we've ever seen.
Yeah. Thank you.
No worries. This really is like an ugly duckling in the Legacy Cinema filmography.
It's good quality though. I don't care.
I do like that behind the scenes picture we have on the Instagram.
It's really good.
When you're on your knees and you're filming Joe and River.
Yeah.
We got too into those costumes.
I was way too comfortable.
You talk about you were violently ill. I went out the room to get a camera. I came back. You were all in crop tops. I didn't ask you to do any of that.
I was way too comfortable.
I asked you to do none of it, and then you're shoving me into the bus like I was uncomfortable. Don't act like you were.
I need you to understand, when I say I was ill, I mean I had an illness. I had a day off after that. I wasn't sick.
Hello, this is production meeting number 8, and we are prepping for our pitch to our clients at Cinescope. So, what do you guys feel?
I mean, I think it could go well. I think we're quite good at presentations, and I think we've planned it to how we feel like the client will like it.
Yeah, we've had a good track record with pitches before. Our previous one went really well.
Yeah, like we've cut
up our aesthetics, our reasons with good evidence, with good inspiration. We've talked about.
We've covered all the basics, basically.
Yeah. We've got evidence to back it up and why we believe it would why we think it will work for the overall theme of change.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they understand that this is about change.
I think we've conveyed that well.
Yeah, we haven't. There isn't a slide on us talking about it being about change, but like you said, the whole idea. If we talk about it correctly, it should sound like change. That theme should be conveyed well.
Yeah. Have we decided what slides we're going to do each? Or are we selling that on another day? Will we say probably? I feel like
we usually plan out this type of stuff.
Yeah. We'll probably do that at a later date because it's a very small part that we know what we've written and we know what we want to say. So it's just a matter of using who wants to say what. I, for one, I'm going to talk about the inspiration. That includes a bit of our market research and our previous experience. I feel like I myself have added the inclusion of our previous works, Black Note, and well, obviously it's still in the works, but I feel like it's nice to discuss Focus, obviously a unrealized project at this moment in time, but I feel like which will be created at some point. But also,
it was definitely more test footage, though.
Yeah, but even then, it still showcases our experience and knowledge of the documentary genre, both internal and external of college.
Yeah, because it shows that we've planned something similar in the past, which means that hopefully the client will see that it means we could do it to like a good ability, this current project.
Yes, exactly. Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
No, yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think we're ready.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it. Get ready, guys. Thank you for coming. Thank you very much.
Well, it's a very touchy subject because some people say go to university and further your studies, and then the other half say get an apprenticeship where you can get work experience, which is what they look for when you apply for a job. So that could be like a struggle of getting into the industry.
Welcome to production meeting number 9. We're going to talk about the pitch. How'd it go, guys? Not the best.
It didn't go as planned.
No, to say the least.
There were a few elements that didn't match our desired outcome. Will is hitting the wall.
I've got to say, I've got to apologise. The focus part was my idea, and that was a complete and utter mess. I messed up with that. I hadn't written it properly, and was at all. Oh, Will's gone. See, it's just. I'm sure he's just upset about that.
It's too much.
It's too much. Look, no, I'm just going to cut to the chase. Honestly, I'm well aware that pitch wasn't perfect. I completely understand that. We made faults. Here's my problem, though. We are in a place of education, where I'm supposed to learn from our mistakes. With that pitch, I'm aware we made mistakes, but what happened? Oh, Will's back.
Oh, yes, I'm back.
With what happened there, it was... We made mistakes, but essentially the client just said to us, "This is terrible, get out." Now, and we've been told by people now that, "Oh, well, you're gonna get that in the industry," but this isn't the industry. This is a place of education where I want to learn from my mistakes. I don't appreciate just being told I'm terrible and leaving. I don't find that very professional. There's no constructive criticism whatsoever. And I feel like I wouldn't be so upset and hurt about it if I was given actual feedback on how to improve instead of just have myself having the finger pointed at, along with you two, and being told to get out. We've had to look through the footage and find what we did wrong, and the client didn't tell us anything we did wrong. And just didn't even... A Beach, you can say yourself, like, we weren't given the chance to explain our detail into the work of Macklemore as well, were we?
Yeah, no. I feel like the whole inspirational... the whole inspiration segment of that pitch kind of went downhill. They just didn't seem to care about it at all. It was... The whole context of the idea just was insignificant in their eyes, and it was more about the now, the moment, what do we have now, and what are we going to show? The past is irrelevant, it's all about the future and what it is we're going to convey. And sorry, it just... This went so wrong, so unpredictably wrong. It's just, I don't know.
Well, I won't lie. It is really draining of motivation. But the way I feel now is more like I want to prove these people wrong, and I want to make them understand that our idea, or at least with some minor tweaks, can live up to the expectation they have. And I really hope we can, and I'm certain we can with the ideas we have. It's just a shame we couldn't showcase that today.
Yeah.
There will be changes made. Obviously, there'll be... We'll set not an entirely new path, because we're too far in to change everything, but there will be altercations, there will be differences, only nuanced differences, nothing that big, nothing that, spectacular, because that would risk sacrificing months of work. We have an idea, and we do believe that it accomplishes what the client wants, what the brief says.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we're gonna be stoic. We're gonna keep going with what we have. We're gonna make a few changes. That's all. But overall, child motivation in a way is a bit of a 50-50 right now, because we want to prove them wrong because we know we have what it takes. But also, being told like that we're going to fail as of right now. It does damage inspiration, motivation, all that.
Just, well, like some like vocabulary choices were just so rude for no reason. Like what was said, I would have kicked you out in the first 5 minutes. I for one didn't appreciate that as well. And going back to a previous statement, like I get it. We're going to experience stuff like that in the industry, but as a place of education, we expect to learn from our mistakes and being told what we're doing wrong and learn from it. But we didn't learn anything from that, and I found that quite rude and demeaning as well.
Yeah, of course. We are aware that in the industry there will be some pitches, some moments where we will just be thrown out because they have other people they got to talk to, other people with more agreeable ideas. There are going to be moments where we're just going to be shoved aside. But sure, in this situation, in this educational environment, it would have been nice to have some kind of guidance, on what we can do to make this better. But like I've said, and like we've agreed on, what we have does accomplish what the brief says, and so we're going to stick to what we have.
Well, I'm very glad that us three are here together. We're going to make something of this pitch, and I have confidence in all of us. Will, anything?
Yeah, well, just adding on to what you said, like we're gonna try and make some changes at least. Like he made a point, like he didn't see how it related to change whatsoever. So that means obviously, in like the script, we might need to make the aspect of change more obvious, which I thought. But I mean,
this goes back to the whole narration thing as well. We were talking about quite a while ago. So maybe maybe the inclusion of more enforced narration will be necessary for the scripts, but I don't know. I think it just comes down to what we show and not what we say.
Sorry, I cut out then. Sorry, what were you saying, Beach?
Oh, I was just saying that this goes back to the whole narration point with enforcing what the theme is about. So maybe we'll add on to the narration, the script, the dialogue, enforcing that this is about change, or maybe we'll just have to direct what we're showing more towards the theme. But as of right now, it's a bit of a stalemate. There's only one direction to go, and that's forward. You know, there's some things we're gonna have to change, some things we're gonna stick with, and that's all really.
Yeah, completely with you.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of difficulties because that's one of my biggest fears with getting a future job is proving that you're better than the person next to you, even when like you'll be similar in like skill set, because everyone is trying to prove that they're the best, and there's lots of people wanting the same job, and also nepotism is a big factor in the film industry, like because you might be better than someone, but like a director's son might get the job just because they know people, and like it is tough, but then if you need to be very lucky to get in, and hopefully I will be.
Thanks, mate. All right, welcome to production meeting number 10. A lot's happened since the kind of absolute failure that was a pitch. So
yeah,
why don't you guys get us started?
So like we said in the last meeting, we weren't going to change a lot, and we followed through on that. We haven't changed quite literally most of the idea.
I suppose the only thing we're really changing is we're making some elements relate to the idea of change a lot more unsubtly, a lot more obviously.
Yeah, like for example, the script has been like changed a tiny bit to like include the word itself change more to.
I was listening through these after the pitch, and I said something at the first of a pitch, and it's like, you know, only simply hearing the word change will make them apply that to what they're watching.
Yeah.
If they hear it, they'll apply the idea of change to what they're hearing and what they're saying from the people we're interviewing. So I feel like that could work to our significant advantage.
But we definitely haven't forced it into the script.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We're not going to just shove the word change or the theme in their face. It's not.
It will actually relate,
but it's very there, you know.
Yes, absolutely. News, we were doing some workshops for equipment as well to prepare for filming.
Yes.
I'd call that quite helpful. Especially, we finally actually learned some stuff about the sound equipment that we haven't really had much experience in.
Definitely, and we've, as a group, we've had a rocky relationship with sound equipment.
Definitely.
I think Till Death Do Us Part was when it really...
Till Death. Till Death with cameras and sound equipment. Lighting has always been our friend, really.
I am adamant that this project will get it right. Well, it'll go right for us.
Hopefully, yeah. We've we've done the best we can in terms of learning everything, and the colleges they've taught us well when it comes to this equipment.
Yeah.
I know people like to disagree, but I would meet halfway and say they've done everything they can. So it's up to us now. It's personal responsibility.
Yeah.
Sorry, Will, go on.
Oh no, and like, I myself have studied one of the I still don't fully know how to use the box ones, so hopefully we don't get them. But the actual
the Ghostbusters ones.
The actual, the normal looking ones. I can't remember what they're called. But I have, I completely know how to use them. So if we get them, we'll be fine. It's just a matter of the equipment actually works. But
I mean, Will, you're the technically competent person here. I mean, I know absolutely nothing when it comes to the equipment.
Speaking of changes, well, not exactly changes, more additions. Today, or the past few days, we've been doing character profiles, presenter and cast profiles, and we've put more influence or sort of attention to the idea of presenting and hosting, which we'll be doing along the lines of Michael Moore, as Beach was talking about in a previous episode.
Yeah, Michael Moore, his personality, he's renowned for being this kind of comedian almost, this humorous guy. No matter what subject material he covers, whether it's gun violence or the healthcare, he'll always take on this.
Blunt about it as well.
Yeah, he's very sarcastic. He's, again, like I said, he's renowned for that type of personality.
Not even and that, but not to mention his performative theories as well. He's very on screen and present.
It's not exactly immature. It's just trying to make light of a certain situation. And even though we're not covering the same type of topic he covers by a mile, we are going to try, well, not even adapt his personality, because even if we do share a type of personality trait, it's still just going to be us being our natural selves.
Yeah.
And we aren't the most mature individuals, even whilst we work.
But
that's why this documentary is going to be incredibly personal to us, because it's not us choosing to hide. It's very rare in our work where we take the mask off and it's just us being ourselves. We always have to put on this professional costume, and even though we will always be professional no matter what, this time there's going to be more of an insight into who we truly are. It's gloves off. It's us for who we are.
Absolutely. So that's I'm quite hopeful and satisfied with the track we're doing after the after the disaster that was a pitch, but I'm hopeful.
I'm hopeful too.
Right. Anything else?
Oh yeah, well, we've still got the recce's and the legal things. So we've got the artist release forms all sorted. So legally, we are allowed to show this footage once it gets developed.
We also, we've all looked through visited the locations regarding the recce's, and we've done research and looked into all the possible hazards that could potentially damage our project, ourselves, and our equipment. In terms of location, I think we're fully prepared to go. Hello and welcome to meeting number 11 of our production. As you can tell by my voice, I'm a lot more energetic, and imagine these two are, because we've just wrapped up filming and we're pretty optimistic and excited. So is there any stories and stuff you'd like to discuss?
Yeah, well, I was really happy with how filming went, just because nothing really went wrong, unless, is there anything you two can remember? Because I don't think there was particularly. I can only think of, the sound was a bit annoying when we were doing the interviews with Charlotte.
Yeah.
But that's literally the only thing I can think of.
As usual, sound has always been the most irritating part. However, I do think we've worked around it, and I think our skills within that department have developed, and to the point where we've like efficiently managed to sort out the equipment. We've not got into anything yet, but I will wait and see what that audio is like, especially with that interview with Tom and Charlotte. But from what we were listening to during filming, it all sounds great, and I'm really confident it's going to turn out really well. Beach?
Well, I just want to note that we're the first group in this college history to fix a boom mic. Or even use one, probably. But no, other than that, filming went really well. I can't think of any points where we struggled a little bit. I mean, sure, like the wind, like you said, the wind was like really, really, really bad. But other than that, no, everything went really smooth. It was really good.
Yeah.
It was nice as well because, as we predicted, Joe and Aidan Wells gave us some fantastic footage and some amazing cinematography, especially with that sunset over the hills. Oh my god!
Oh yeah,
that's gonna be lovely. And we had it was nice because it kind of came down to what we predicted. We had more visual advantages with Joe, Aidan, and Wills, but we also had a more raw and emotional bonding between Millie and Liam throughout their production, which is a really nice contrast and gives the audience more than one thing to appreciate and look into, almost like an anthology story at times. These different emotions and different feelings these people are going through. It's really nice.
Oh yeah, because the whole point of our documentary was to express the themes of love, friends, and connections, and to see not only just Millie and Liam, but really everyone in the documentary. They were all working together. They all relied on one each other. It was a real team effort every step of the way, and it was just lovely to see everyone just getting along. Even the actors were lovely. We had some nice chats with the actors, and we exchanged details. And you never know, we might end up working with them in the future. But
the emotions that we've captured on camera are all necessary parts of progression and change, which is why I think it's an advantage, to say the least. Will, anything else?
No, I was going to say the same thing. Like everything that was captured, even with obviously, because we've agreed that we're going to put narration in now, but the fact that even without the narration, the stuff we filmed on the interviews, and because we did interviews on different days, it does tell a story of them progressing and them changing throughout their production, which I think just works wonders for our documentary. And just because they talked about what all the troubles that they had to overcome with filming, and it just went way better than I could have imagined.
Exactly. I'm really pleased with all of us. I'm really pleased how it turned out, and I'm looking forward to starting editing it.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome to our final production meeting number 12, and today we're going to talk about our final edit and how we feel about it. So obviously we've gone through 3 different edits. Have you guys got any things to add to the edits, or any feedback going in?
Well, I mean, I'm actually. Well, I don't know if I'll speak for everyone, but I'm very proud of it. I think that there was a bit in the middle where we weren't too optimistic about it.
Absolutely, I think that was production meeting number 7 or 8, 9.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But I think together we have pulled it together very well. I think we've made something that we can be quite proud of.
I guess it was being able to see all these ideas come to fruition. The graphics we wanted to use and the audio editing. seeing it come together has made us and people that doubted us realise that we actually did have good ideas, and we've proved ourselves that maybe. Yeah.
We have what it takes.
We do have what it takes.
In terms of problem solving, though, I think we did that very well. The whole subtitle situation.
Yeah, and going back and getting them to record.
I mean, no matter what now, we have a lifeline with the subtitled version. Of course, the Redux version with the new audio for Act 2 and other ones will be completed by not even the end of the week. Yeah, I'm getting that in a couple of days, and
so like I think everything like I really like in this product except for the audio, but the audio is
not going to be a problem after a few days.
It's nowhere near as bad as what it would have been.
Yeah.
If we get the final draft sorted out, which I believe we will.
Yeah. Anything else?
I don't think so.
No, that's
it.
This will be the shortest one, I think.
Well, I've got to say, before we wrap up, this will be the last one, and it's been an honour to work with you both.
We all cringed at that, by the way. Bye-bye.